Hi, welcome to today's video. My name is Paul. So usually I don't show the final painting until the end of the video, but today I decided just to shake things up a bit and also show it at the start of the video. It is springtime here, the flowers are starting to open, but it is still quite cool outside. This was a couple of days ago. There was some snow lying on the ground for a while. It's still not quite weather for outdoor painting, I don't think. Today's painting, in terms of materials, if we just quickly go over those, the paper is Hahnemühle paper. The paint is all Sennelier paint. In terms of colours, there are three blues. There's a Prussian blue, which is dark blue, cobalt blue, which is much lighter in terms of values, and then the ultramarine, which is somewhere in between. There's a light cadmium yellow, and this sort of orange colour is actually, I think, called deep cadmium yellow, but it's actually orange. There's also this light phthalo green, and there's a little bit of olive green in there as well. I just used the one brush for the whole painting. It's just a mop brush. There's nothing very special about it. Today I wanted then to talk about why I like Impressionist art and Impressionist artists. And there are a number of reasons. First of all, I like their art. They were amongst some of the first artists to paint landscapes just for the sake of painting landscapes. Prior to that, a lot of landscapes were just as backgrounds for mythological gods and goddesses, or perhaps religious scenes, that type of art. But actually painting a landscape just for the sake of painting a landscape, there were a few artists, but not that many. And as someone who likes to paint landscapes, it's one of the reasons I like Impressionist artists. The other reason is I love the brightness of their paintings. Prior to the Impressionists, if you look at landscape artists like the French artist Courbet, or perhaps the English artist Turner, one of the things about their landscapes was the colour palette they used. It included a lot of earth colours and blacks, and those colours can really deaden a painting. They just take, in my opinion, they take all the life and the colour out of the painting. And for me then, it's just not enjoyable to look at. I'm not saying that's the correct way of looking at art, it's just my opinion. And it is, remember, all of this art, it's all just opinions really. So yeah, I like the way their art looks. I also like their attitude to art. Back at that time, sort of mid-19th century France, if you wanted to be an artist, a professional artist, make a living from it, you had to work through the salon, which was the sort of establishment approach to art. Every year they would have juried shows, exhibitions, and basically what happens is you would take along your painting and you would show it, and a jury of, well, I'm guessing it was probably all men, would decide whether or not your art was worthy to be shown to the public. A lot of the Impressionist artists were rejected, but rather than giving up, they formed their own organization. They charged a modest sort of entry fee or subscription fee for becoming a member, and they used that money, they pulled it together, and they used it to rent a studio, and they put on their own exhibition. Now, financially, that first exhibition was not successful. I don't know if they even made their money back, but the point is they tried. They didn't just give up, and they refused to just be told by the establishment what they should paint. They went off and did their own thing. And I very much like that sort of attitude to art, but also to other things as well. If you dig around on YouTube, on the internet, you will come across videos where people are attacking the Impressionists because in their mind the Impressionists, after the Impressionists, the quality of art declined. And certainly true that after Impressionism, people did take this idea of being able to do their own things, freedom to think for themselves, and you then start to get things like Cubism appearing, and Fauvism, and Jackson Pollock's splashing and splattering paint onto canvas and things. A much more individualist approach to art. And a lot of these classical artists or classically trained artists don't like that. They prefer the more perfecting the craft approach to art. So you do have these two sort of divisions in art. I tend to fall under the more progressive. Anybody can be an artist. You don't have to go to art school. And if you want to splash paint onto a canvas, go for it. If you like the results, that's great. If other people like the results, fantastic. You don't have to necessarily be an expert in perspective and values and things like that to create art. Basically what I'm saying is I believe that anybody can be an artist if they have the motivation to pick up a paintbrush and just have a go. Okay, if you'd like to subscribe, just click on the big red button below and hopefully see you in the next video.